that I'm supposed. Your Excellency, the status program is very clear. After the anthem is the governor of Nairobi speaking, then invites the minister, then the deputy president, then Your Excellency. Hii mambo ya kuniandamine tafadhalini tuacheni. We all serve, tunaserve serikali moja. Rais haja disband county government in Nairobi. Kwa hivyo tafadhali heshima kidogo.
All right, welcome back to Jeff Koinange live right here at Citizen Television. In the House on the bench, COTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli. SG, you saw that soundbite. It happened last Saturday, National Tree Planting Day, Moi Forces Academy, and somebody, obviously, trying to embarrass the governor of Nairobi County. Your thoughts on that?
It might have been political, or it might have been just omitted without any ill
Come
intentions.
on, do not be diplomatic here.
Let me finish.
Don't be diplomatic.
Let me finish. Yeah, I said it might have been political or an omission without any bad intentions. But then the governor dealt with it politically, if it was political. So I don't think...
But that was an embarrassment. Someone was obviously wanting to go over his head and go straight to the DP. And the DP had already stood up.
Yeah, but you see, that is why I'm saying it might have been political. Because in politics, anything can happen. I've always told you. Politics is politics, my friend. So it might have been political.
Yes.
Or somebody, without apportioning a blame to anybody else, it might have been omitted without bad...
Is someone trying to undermine the governor of Nairobi?
But you see, the governor is elected governor. He was not appointed. He was not nominated. You, Nairobians, elected him. So why should you undermine him? Even if you undermined him, you cannot remove him. For you to remove him, there must be elections. Or, how do you remove him? He was elected.
Yeah.
And people who elected him were all above 18. They were adults.
They were adults.
Yeah.
But clearly somebody doesn't like this man. You can tell. I mean, it's obvious. And a presidential function like that.
But that's why I'm telling you, it might have been political.
What do you mean might? What is this might? Just come out and say it was political. There's somebody who...
But he dealt with it politically. If it was political, the governor dealt with it politically.
What would you
have
done?
He was not a loser.
What would you have done?
Huh?
What, would you have done the same thing?
The same thing. In my function or in my area of jurisdiction, I would deal with you the way governor did. Absolutely correct.
But honestly, SG, and you live in Kitengela, right?
Yeah.
And you commute into the city every day.
I don't live in Kitengela. I live in Kajiado.
Kajiado County.
Kitengela is near Nairobi.
You're in
100 kilometers from Nairobi.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
And you commute into the city every day.
And at 5 a.m. I'm in my office.
At 5?
Yeah.
On these dilapidated roads.
Now we have a very nice road. You know, our road is an international road. It goes up to South Africa. From here to Kajiado, to Arusha, to Dodoma.
Okay, that road is fine.
Yeah.
But there are some inner roads. I mean, the infrastructure in this city is crumbling, SG. Somebody help me here.
That is why I moved out of this city. I moved out of this city. I have a beautiful home here. I haven't sold it. I'm looking for a buyer. I haven't gotten a buyer. That's why I moved out of Nairobi. Because I was brought up in this city. This is not the city I knew. Nairobi was like London, like any other international city. We had organized transport system. Now it is only Nairobi in the whole world where we don't have an organized transport system.
Yeah.
Where an MD or a CEO of a given multinational company can arrive at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, get into a bus to the hotel, and he enjoys, he feels comfortable. There is nothing like that in Nairobi. Even our taxis have no meters. So you don't know what we are being charged for. Yeah, so this is a funny place.
Funny is the word. Isn't it a shame though? Because you have traveled.
Yeah.
You know, you go to...
All these people who are managing, the affairs of our country have traveled. And I don't know what they learn when they are outside there. I don't know completely what they learn. Because you can see the structures coming up in Nairobi. They are not planned structures. Huh?
Yeah.
You see Jomo Kenyatta Airport, International Airport. That place requires expansion. We need more runways. And you see people are putting up buildings next to the airport.
And flats.
And flats. And hotels. And nobody's querying.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
This is a place that you cannot be able to understand. Because if somebody told you that this is the headquarters of our republic, you will say no. First of all, the place is filthy. Kibaki tried to open those back streets, those lanes and so on, in places like Leleshwa, other places. He did what he could to make sure that at least there were some openings as far as Nairobi traffic is concerned. And I want to thank somebody who thought about traffic lights. These traffic lights should be extended to Uhuru Highway, Mombasa Road. They have eased congestion. For example, Mbagathi Road now. Somebody who thought about lights, because it is only in Nairobi City where we still have askaris telling, doing like this on the road, managing traffic. Even the small cities like Lome in Togo, they have lights everywhere. In West Africa.
Kigali.
Kigali. Okay, Kigali, you can't. Kigali is an international city. Kigali is just like Geneva. You can't say any rubbish on the street.
No.
Yeah. It requires seriousness. You know, leadership is an issue that depends to an individual. For example, if somebody took over government and he said, I will be in for only 5 years and I want to streamline everything, he will be able to streamline.
But tell me
something. He will deal with corruption. He will deal with infrastructure issues. He will create policies to manage everything. This is a country where policies are wanting. We don't have policies on so many things that if you want even investment policy, our investment policy, we need to have an investment policy, infrastructural policy to address dilapidated infrastructure. When should be our roads dealt with, or when should they be repaired or maintained? So you have been in developed world, even if the road is good.
Yes.
But it's in life for 10 years or 5 years, it will be redone.
Correct.
Yeah. Whether there is no pothole.
Exactly.
Yeah. A road has a life, just like a human being.
Yes. So does that mean you're disappointed with the leadership here?
I don't want to say so, because this what is happening in Kenya is inheritance.
Inheritance of what?
You inherit a problem from a previous leader, you maintain that problem, somebody else will have to inherit it, and it goes like that continuously. We have never had any assertiveness in some with our leaders by planting a sense of direction to Kenyan masses or the city masses and asking us, this is the only way for us to go.
We don't have that.
We don't have that. Look, Singapore, those countries that developed, they said they want to be IT literate nation. And they opened up tents everywhere in the country. And the age did not matter. Even if you are 80, you have got to get into that tent and be trained, become an IT literate. Information technology must be able to access any information on the internet or in whichever way. It became a country's policy.
So what went wrong here?
And if you met, if you arrive in Singapore, and for example, you are a guest of a given organization, and the driver who picks you from the airport will be able to give you the whole picture of that organization. And even if you wanted the issue, the mission, the policies of the country, the vision, that guy will update you. You don't need to see the CEO of that particular company or that organization.
Right. The taxi driver will tell you.
Yeah, taxi driver.
And here?
Will update you. Here, the taxi driver will be asking you where you are going. Where is Stanley Hotel? Where is Intercontinental? And it's a Kenyan, you are a foreigner.
So, when did the rain start beating us, SG? Where did we go wrong?
I think when we started adoring politics instead of development. You know, somebody says if you remove the hawkers in Nairobi, you will not get votes. So what? If you believe in such like things, or if you deal with these people, they will not give you votes. If you deal with the landless, you will not get votes. If you deal with this community, they will not give you votes. Irrespective whether that community houses the most corrupt people, you say, no, I don't want to interfere with them because I will lose votes.
Yeah.
That is where the rain started beating us. We need to differentiate the true assertive leadership with electioneering politics. Once you have been elected, you have been given responsibility, you have been sworn in, you are a leader, do what the mandate of that office calls upon you to do. And that is what we did. I will give you my own example, because people say Atwoli is a noisemaker. But let them come at the Solidarity Building. Let them see how we are running labor movement in this country, at par with any other international labor movement. And that is why I was elected to head Africa. I speak for Africa. Some people say, oh, Atwoli will say, I talk about his positions. Why can't you go and acquire that one of those positions I have? Yeah. It's because we changed the whole thing. These issues of bickering, politicking, people fighting, it was in labor movement. We said, no, we must internationalize Kenya's labor movement. And we internationalized it. When I'm outside there, our people, our young men and women are in boardroom negotiating for terms and conditions of service of their members. With employers. You can check with the Federation of Kenya Employers. They will tell you we have people who can articulate workers' issues in Kenya's labor movement. Not just you. Yeah, not just me. And you see somebody saying, oh, Atwoli have overstayed here, or 17 years here, or Atwoli has done this and that. But I have developed brains. Right now I'm talking to you. I have people in Addis Ababa who are representing us. I have people in Brussels, Belgium, representing Kenya. I have people who are leaving tomorrow for an International Trade Union Confederation meeting in London. I have people everywhere. And I have people engaging employers in various places.
Yeah. So if you were to give Governor Mike Sonko some advice tonight, if he's watching you tonight, what would you tell him?
What the governor should do, he was elected. He should look for technocrats and make sure that the institutions, the departments of the Delhi City Council, which is now county government, are working. He has able people to lead those departments. And then he do his politics. He stay away.
He had a technocrat in his team who was so frustrated he quit. Polycarp Igathe. Yeah, he quit.
Because he was not a politician. He didn't know how to deal with politicians. There are technocrats who know how to deal with politicians. And as a leader, as a politician, you should delegate and empower that technocrat, make him independent or her independent to do his or her work without any interference.
Yeah.
And then you will see the results. They will deliver. But you see, let me tell you, where we go wrong, most of politicians, they have their own interest, either looking for money or checking who is stealing, who is doing this. But when you have working institutions, you don't bother. If somebody stole, the institution itself will deal with that person.
Tell me something. If Sonko was in his wisdom to, let's say, nominate someone like Miguna as his deputy, would that work?
It can't work. Miguna can be nominated by an opposition party to articulate issues of the opposition.
There's no opposition now, is there? There's no opposition?
There is.
Where?
All these there are people in parliament and every opposition. It doesn't.
No, but answer the question. Could Sonko ever put Miguna there just, to be the...
No, it can't work.
No?
It can't work.
What if it happened?
No, it can't. Sonko requires somebody sober to deputize him. Sonko requires a really proper advisor to assist him. He's a popular leader and he's a down-to-earth young man. His strength stems from the poor and less fortunate ones in the city, and they see him as a person who can really associate himself with them. And we remember when I was telling you that this guy would be elected, that time he was supplying water in the informal sectors, in settlements and so on.
Yeah.
And and nobody does that.
So he needs a team of smart technocrats.
Absolutely.
And then he can run around.
I can run around, do his politics, have a cup of tea and so on.
Yes.
Yeah. Like now, me, I'm going to Geneva. I have about 17 well-trained labor leaders who will be in every committee and everywhere. Me, what I will do is to give a keynote address at the conference in the plenary and get standing ovation. And I go back to have my cup of tea and so on. But in the committees, I have technocrats working.
Yeah.
You see?
You already know you're going to get a standing ovation.
Absolutely, because of what I'm going to articulate at that particular meeting. I will get it.
Yeah.
I know.
Did we elect the right person in Nairobi? I'm trying to get to the crux of this. Did we elect the right person?
To me, once somebody has been elected, is the right person. Because that is what is all about democracy.
Can he clean up this mess then?
No, if he's assisted and supported, he can do it. He requires people to assist him and support him.
He keeps saying, give me time, give me time. Give me a year, he says. I will clean up this city.
Let's give him that time he's asking for. Let us give him. He was elected. When you elect somebody, you have elected that person. He's your representative.
Yeah.
Because you are not forced or coerced to go and elect that person. Yeah. Until that time will come for you to think about changing the person.
Yeah.
Otherwise, invest your loyalty in that person, and if you are to advise him correctly.
Where Dr. Evans Kidero, where he is right now, he must be laughing his head off.
Oh, no, he can't be laughing. Because
He is.
He was also amazed. Why was he voted out? Ask yourself, why was he?
Because the electorate in Nairobi was there. They were going to punish him.
No, for what?
They were going to punish him.
For?
Teach him a lesson.
Why?
Because they thought he was too arrogant.
Yeah. If you are arrogant and you are voted out, then can you stay and start laughing and you are outside? Because if you are intelligent, if you are intelligent enough to lead, and you can be able to lead as a leader, you can show the way. Why should you be voted out? True leaders are not voted out, are admired.
But then he's probably sitting in his house saying, ha ha ha, I told you so.
No, no, no. If you say if he was rigged out, then we can say so. Was he rigged out?
No.
So, he should be also re-examining himself. Where did I go wrong? That this is happening. And when I had been elected to correct this mess. So I should not be a happy person. He shouldn't.
Yeah.
And no Kenyan should be happy for that. Because we voluntarily and freely elected the current governor.
Okay, let's switch gears, SG. And another day, another scandal. 10 billion shillings.
Yes. That is Kenya.
10 billion.
That is Kenya.
Let me put in perspective for you. Thika Superhighway cost 32 billion shillings. All the way to Thika. 40 kilometers cost 32 billion. Okay? So let's say from Pangani to Kenyatta University is a third of the way. Both sides of the highway, 5-lane highway, overpass, footpaths, everything. That's 10 billion.
There is a clip somewhere, even here or somewhere else, in 2015, I was opening an Eastern African workshop at Tomboya Labour College. And I told participants in that college, from all over in East Africa, this is the only country in this region where a top man, most top person, who has been given a big job, can pick up a telephone and he calls a small man who is a procurement officer in any government department or parastatal and tell that guy, that tender, give to Jeff Koinange. Even if that person says, no, Jeff doesn't qualify, give him or you lose a job.
Yeah.
This is the only country.
Yeah.
So what do you expect to happen at NYS? That's not the first place. Everywhere it is happening. Why am I being fought? Because I've become resistant and irritant for purposes of protecting workers' money at the NSSF.
NSSF?
Yeah. That is why I would say everybody telling you, Atwoli has outlived its usefulness, he has done what? And when you ask a fellow a simple question that you have your watchman or a gatekeeper who is keen, taking care of your properties, and then somebody is telling you remove this watchman because he has overstayed in that gate, will you be normal? Maybe you are a cabinet secretary, or you are a member of parliament, or you are somebody else. Somebody is telling you remove that gatekeeper. He has overstayed in your gate.
Yes.
And when he's on your gate, you lose nothing.
And NSSF is another cash cow.
Absolutely. That is what they always think about.
Cash cow.
That is what they, but now we have stopped it. That is the way we are having, I and my counterpart from the Federation of Kenya Employers.
Yeah. But why hasn't anybody been arrested in this NYS scandal?
Where else has somebody been arrested?
Nowhere.
Apart from what happened to Gakwa another day, on something that happened a long time ago. What about the recent cases?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I personally have written a lot of statements at the anti-corruption. And you think when you are living there, tomorrow somebody will be arrested?
Yes. Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah. When I'm reporting you to any authority at the anti-corruption or anywhere, or people who are charged with responsibilities of investigation in matters of corruption, I have opened a leeway for them to come and say, Jeff, this man, I don't think whether his head is proper, this man called Atwoli. Can you really get away with this amount of money? This is what he has written a statement to us. What do you want us to do with this statement? That is Kenya. I have talked about tax evasion.
Yes.
How many times? If we were paying taxes, if these people you see were paying taxes, Kenya will not be where we are today.
No.
Yeah. And then they go to His Excellency the President, they say, President, we are with you, we are supporting you, we want you to, you know, they tell our President like that. Those people you see him around, they are not paying taxes.
And they
are businesses.
And they're the ones stealing. Many of them. Even
importing sugar, illegal sugar, is imported by who? They have killed all our sugar industries.
Yes. Mumias, everything, dead.
They have nothing about Kenya at their heart. Because we talk of creation of employment, we have more institutions of high learning. We talk about these young men and women accessing jobs. And at the same time, we are killing those industries.
And
look, even maize, people are importing maize from Uganda.
Come on.
Stuffing them in government stores.
Killing the industry.
Yeah, killing the industry. And farmers in both North, South, Western Kenya, North and South Rift Valley, Western Kenya, crying with their maize.
And it's part of the president's Big Four agenda, by the way.
Yeah, of which we are supporting.
Yes, food security.
Yeah. Let me tell you.
Manufacturing.
Absolutely. I have told you time and again on this bench here, Jeff. I have told you here and now. Look, Jeff.
I'm looking.
I have told you this young man called Uhuru Kenyatta means well for this country. And I wish one day you move closer to him. He is very much concerned about Kenya. But his problem is that for all these years, he has nobody to assist him. Agenda 4 is the way. And if it were like in other countries, people would take it like Bible.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at manufacturing.
Yeah.
If you promote manufacturing sector, you have provided thousands and thousands of jobs. If you provide housing, you have reduced the cost of living in Nairobi by 50% or in any city.
Yeah. Food security.
Food security. So what else do you want the president to do for you?
So he's a loner.
He's a loner. Because he comes up with very good ideas which should be picked by other people. Yes. For example, us in labor movement, we have picked it. We are having a conference. Immediately we come back from Geneva on those Agenda 4. Seriously.
Yeah.
Because they concern us as workers. Issues of manufacturing.
So why haven't we embraced it then? What's our problem?
People want to be paid. to go and hero worship him. You know hero worshippers?
Yes.
Yeah. People who worship heroes. These are not serious people.
No, they're not.
These are the people you have in this country.
And
Jeff.
yet, people around him are letting him down.
Absolutely.
By stealing left, right, and center. What does he do? Are his hands tied?
I said, when we were organizing Labor Day at Solidarity,
Yeah.
I told the shop stewards that you can do everything. You can think somebody is not seeing you. But when he gets annoyed with you, that is when you will know that he was a serious person. Soon, I'm sure. But as I've said time and again, soon our president is going to be a different person. Take it from me.
We've been saying this for how long?
He has to leave a legacy.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
So why doesn't he get angry then?
No, you know, he had, I told you, at his heart, everybody was good for him. But everything has an end. It will not always be like that. Watch him. Yeah.
It's coming.
It's coming.
And when it comes, we'll all run.
I have never told you something on this page which has never come to happen.
Yes. So you're telling me...
I don't go to State House myself. Even people thought when I said, oh, we should be able to impress upon a referendum, create more positions, that somebody had sent me to do that.
Yes.
No, I don't go to State House.
Okay, let me ask you this. When was the last time you spoke with the president?
That was last year, before Labor Day.
SG.
Yeah, true.
Last year?
Yeah, it's 1 year.
You haven't spoken to him this year?
No.
He didn't come to your function on Labor Day?
Yeah, but he rewarded us with 5% on minimum wage. And workers came in large numbers to see him, but unfortunately he was engaged elsewhere. His cabinet secretary, whom he sent, announced 5% minimum wage.
So you haven't spoken to him all this year?
No.
Why can't you pick up the phone and call him then?
I can't.
Why not?
I can't. He knows me, I'm there.
Oh, so you're waiting for him to call you?
Let me tell you, as I've told you, and it happened in France, it has happened everywhere. If you read these books dealing with leadership, all leaders are circumvented from moving closer to people who have information. It doesn't mean bad for me. He's my friend. We were all in Kanu. Soon we will be pressing him upon to come back to Kanu, where I am. It's not a bad guy. Yeah. But there are people there. Yeah, they will tell you, I will talk to the president. Because everybody at the State House, including secretaries, are presidents.
They're all very powerful.
Powerful. Yeah. And that is what happens with those people who are in leadership.
Yes.
Yeah. That is why you see with us, anybody who wants to see us, and our telephones are open. When you call me, I will answer. If I'm not answering, I'm in a meeting. Not even my wife or my bodyguard. I will answer that phone myself.
And he hasn't called you?
No, maybe there is no need for him to call me.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but
you control 5 million people. You're
absolutely, but when the time comes, let me tell you, you are right, I control those people. In any country, and I've told you here, in any country I visit, the second thing I do is to go and pay a courtesy to the head of state.
Every country?
As the president of workers in Africa. And I will brief the head of state on the economic performance of our nations on the continent, the dynamics in labor leadership, issues related to unemployment, and global economic performance.
And here at home, a prophet is never recognized.
Jeff, but so long as sometimes they hear me through the media.
Yes.
I'm now on the national TV. They hear me. What they can't do is to shut up my mouth. Or to tell those who are electing me, don't elect France at all. They are all my friends.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, to be honest with you, I have worked with the government of President Moi very well, the government of President Kibaki very well. I'm now working with the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta very well. I cannot I cannot complain because last year he himself awarded us 18%, and 2016 He waived taxes on bonuses, overtime performed by workers, and retirement benefits for those earning less than 100,000 Kenya shillings.
Yeah,
he has been very much responsive to workers' needs. So meeting him one-to-one, even if we don't meet, he means well to Kenyan workers.
Okay, a moment ago I told you that there is no opposition here in Kenya now. There's no opposition.
You know.
And, hold on, a few weeks ago I had the Secretary General of the ANC here in the show, Barack Muluka.
That is my cousin.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he's my brother.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
But this is what Barack had to say about you, or to you. Listen.
My brother Francis Atwoli, and Francis Atwoli is my cousin.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
Your cousin?
Yes. He needs to apologize. He cannot use the workers' holiday, workers' day, to tell us that we are going to create new positions for people whom these workers are going to be taxed to pay, just because somebody has an appetite for power and the good life and trappings that go with the power, that we must pay that. You cannot use the workers' day to begin lobbying for that kind of merchandise.
Yeah, you need to speak to your cousin.
I will talk to him, Francis Mbara Udramahuake Mbolakan.
What did you say?
I've said, yes, I will rank and down on the Let me answer him. Now he knows I'm here and I want to reply to him.
There's your camera. Where's the camera, Monica? There, he's listening, he's watching.
Let me tell Barack. Africa, Asia, and Latin America. These countries in those continents, they attained their independence through labor movement. Here, when all political leaders were in detention, it was trade union movement, which was fighting for freedom, led by no other person other than the late Thomas Joseph Mboya, who came from the labor leadership. People like Mark and Singh, he should read. So for us to suggest for any leadership, it is like what somebody was suggesting, that if you are a trade unionist, you cannot become a member of parliament. You will be doing two jobs. It is not like that.
Yeah.
Parliament is not supreme to labor leadership. It is the other way around. It is us who brought free and independent parliament.
So what are you telling Barack?
So I'm telling Barack Omuluka that for me having suggested that we require a referendum, I was not using Workers' Day to do what does not belong to workers. KOTU is a pressure group. Ours is to pressurize. And whenever we see an anomaly in leadership, it is our prime duty to come out and tell Kenyans. Because if this country went hayway, it is workers, women, and children who suffer. That is why we are saying, and when we have political cover, people who suffer in this country are workers. Shops are closed, companies are reallocated, you know, everything. And workers have no access to their places of work. So we must tell Kenyans that if we want a peaceful Kenya, we must look into our constitution. I'm not saying that with somebody's in mind.
Yeah.
The current constitution is more expensive than the old constitution, even the one we are suggesting. This constitution has created more members of parliament, MCAs, and what have you, a lot of joyriders. Why shouldn't we, and the economy of this country is not in a position to manage the elective positions we have. So what I'm saying is let us look at our constitution. To look at our constitution, it does not mean that when we created more positions in the executive, people will be paid more money. Let
me ask you this. We have some news, and I'm sorry to cut you off, SG. There's some news coming in now.
Yes.
We're trying to verify it.
Yeah.
There's a letter doing the rounds right now. Look, we're putting it up right now. Yeah. It says Mike Sonko nominates Miguna as the Nairobi Deputy Governor. Says he meets all the requirements provided for in the Constitution. That's the letter making the... We don't know if it's verified. That's the star right there.
Yeah, but what I said is this, he can nominate. He has that freedom to do that. But then, as I told you, they will not get on... How should I put it?
It won't be what? It won't be seconded? It won't be passed?
That harmony working harmony, working relationship between the two.
But what do you think of this
No,
news?
it is good, because Miguna is a Kenyan. He might have done that, yes.
Yeah, but Miguna once called Sonko a thief and a drug dealer and a cartel. We will destroy the cartels.
Let me tell you, anything in politics can happen. I've always told you here.
You know what?
I've told you that.
I agree now. Anything is possible.
I've told you on this bench. And one day in politics, I told you how many years?
It's 100 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And let nobody tell you or promise you in politics that tomorrow I would support you.
So MD Wachira Waruru has just said even our digital, Citizen Digital has put this letter out. So it's
official.
It's official.
Yeah, it's okay.
You're not shocked?
I'm not shocked because anything in politics, anything can happen. At any given time, anything in politics is possible.
So this is a whole new handshake.
Now, if you bring in handshake, because I have never seen the agreement of the handshake, but I'm a fan and support of the handshake.
Yes.
Yeah, because I wanted it to be like that. Now Kenyans are working. We have good political atmosphere in our country. It has created investor confidence. Investors are happy. Business is going on as usual. Our shilling has appreciated. Our economy is on upward trend. That is what we wanted. Some of us who want to keep jobs.
Yeah. Will there be chemistry between these two, Sonko and Miguna?
That is what I was telling you. I don't know what will have to happen, but I'm not sure. But let's give it a trial and time. I told you from the beginning, I have my own fears, and I don't want to allay those fears to everybody until it comes to pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
And you have a picture there, yeah? Cliff Ombeta, the lawyer, right? Yeah. He actually, there he is, Cliff Ombeta, receiving the letter. This is deep.
Yeah.
We're still trying to verify it, but it looks like it's all but official.
Yeah.
Sonko has nominated.
And he might have also consulted widely.
What's widely? Widely? What do you mean widely?
With his political advisors.
Do you think he consulted State House?
I can't talk for him about State House. Because people say I always talk to State House.
Yes.
I'm always in contact with the president.
Yes.
When I've never seen him for a year. Yeah.
Wow. This is...
But it is my prime duty, and this is what I was taught.
Yes.
As a labor leader, to work with the government of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For the purposes of presiding over those crucial issues that concerns workers.
The other day, former Nairobi, NCBDA, Nairobi Central Business District Association chairman, Timothy Muriuki, was...
That was barbaric.
Oh.
It was a barbaric incident.
Huh?
I just closed my eyes. I said, am I in Kenya? It was so bad. You know? It wasn't good. That is a very retrogressive way of dealing with things. I didn't like it. It was primitive and called for and unacceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And one of the people who have been arrested as being one of the masterminds is Iyala MP Simon Bogua.
You know, let me tell you, when we were growing, well, now, first of all, I was elected as a branch secretary. It was not easy to be registered. Due diligence was the order of the day during those days. They could send your name to the CID for verification, to the then special branch, the director of the special branch at that time for verification, and then also to the provincial administration. It had a department, because where chief knows you and everybody, they must write a report, whether you are a good man, whether you can fit in that particular position that you have been appointed. If you couldn't pass the test, any of them, if they write and say this man is a doubtful person, or is an inciter, or is an agitator, you will be politely replied by the Registrar General, Mr. J.D. Coward. He was a Mzungu, from the Attorney General Chambers.
Yes.
Kindly accept our thanks, but unfortunately, we cannot register you as official in that particular position because your constitution was not properly followed.
Wow.
And yet you followed the constitution.
Yes.
You can't know why you have been denied that particular position, but you will not be registered.
If that happened today, half this leadership wouldn't be there.
So when we did put chapter 6 in our constitution,
Yes, ethics.
we expected to go back there.
Right.
Yeah, so that we can have credible leaders,
Yes.
leaders of substance,
Yeah.
serious leaders.
Obviously, that never happened.
Yeah.
Never happened.
Never happened.
It's a big joke.
Yeah, never
Chapter
joke.
6 doesn't apply.
Yeah, so you cannot blame our Yala MP, cannot blame anybody else. You blame the society that we live in.
We created that.
We created that.
Thugs.
Yeah. I cannot say thugs, but we created that.
But that was thuggery, what happened to Timothy Muriuki.
Yeah, it was thuggery, yes. But I cannot say we created the organizers like those honorable members of parliament and so on. They were thugs when they went through normal processes to suit the interests and whims of their masters at that particular time.
I'm still trying to get this Miguna news. Has he tweeted? Monica, has he tweeted? Could someone please monitor Miguna's tweets?
Miguna is your friend, that is why you are interested. But I said he should be allowed in, you remember?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I said he's a Kenyan.
Yes.
Let us not decorate a lot of things to deny him his rightful place of birth. Yeah, and I said whatever happens, one day he will come back here. You remember I told you?
You said that?
Yeah, because he's a Kenyan. Yeah? And what I have always advised people,
yes,
deal with the situation as it is. Don't postpone, don't defer, don't transfer that problem to other people. That's our own problem. Miguna is our own problem. If I was a leader today, I would say let him stay here. And we deal with him here. Yeah.
And now he's been nominated deputy governor in Nairobi County.
Yeah. If you deny him that, then the whole world is, they will say this is a country of contradictions. Today, you are not a Kenyan. Tomorrow, you have been offered a very
senior position. Only in Kenya.
Only in Kenya.
We're going to take a break, come back. My goodness, what is going on? Just to let you know, if you're just joining us, Nairobi County Governor Mike Sonko has just nominated, get this, the man with the same name twice, Miguna, as deputy governor. Yeah, we're trying to verify. I think it's been verified. I mean, this is it.
And he says,
we're just waiting for Miguna to reply.
And he says,
yeah,
he meets all the requirements provided by the Constitution. So why did you buy him? Why did you say he's a Canadian?
Why did you deport him? You simply cannot make this stuff up. JK Live takes a break. We'll be back. Plenty more ahead. Goodness gracious me. Oh yes, your tweets, your SMSs, all for the Secretary General of COTU, Francis Atwoli. Take a break. Be back in a moment. Somebody say, oh my.